Greetings and salutation. Welcome to Ref the District's QB1 Press Your Luck. This is presented to you by Don't Sleep Energy. Head out to don'tsleepenergy.com. Use the code Ref the District for 10% off both gear and the drinks. Get yourself some Don't Sleep Energy. Don't sleep. Be great. All right, Trev, it is your turn to press the button and press your luck.
Okay, let's press. No Jags, no Jags, no Jags, no Jags, no Jags, and stop.
No Jags, indeed. You got the greatest of all time, or at least that's what some people say, is Tom Brady as the QB for us to discuss. Yeah, so I would say that Tom Brady would have to be an improvement over our previous one, Sam Howell. Experience-wise, you know, I don't know. I will say this, guys, real quick. All right. Let's not make this discussion about whether or not Tom Brady would come to Washington. Okay. We can save that for a Wednesday show. All right. Wednesdays, 7:30, live on YouTube. That's when you can catch that conversation of whether or not Tom Brady would even bother coming to Washington. Because I think that's a worthwhile conversation. I just want to talk about Tom Brady as QB1 starting for Washington. Do you want him here? Stoner, we'll start with you.
I mean, do you want him here? Do you want the greatest quarterback, the greatest winner in NFL history, probably the greatest player in the history of football? Do you want him on your team even at 46 years old, which is what he'll be next season or this season coming up? Oh, yeah. You would do just about anything. Even at 46, I would break the bank. I would go all in for 1 year, whatever it takes. I would 1,000,000,000% want Tom Brady on my team. I mean,
and he just,
who says differently? If either of you tell,
I was about to say, Trev, do you have anything against that?
Not a single thing against that. But I do want to say I did the press your luck gesture backwards on this opening segment, so I apologize for that. I hit the button to do that, but whatever. But yeah, I'm piggybacking on Stoner. You know the little quotations you put when in literature when you want to say the same thing? That's what I'm doing right here to Stoner.
You're quote tweeting me.
Quote tweeting you. Yep, I'm doing the same thing.
Yep. I think it's fair. I think that, I mean, when you're talking about what he can provide to the team, that's a legitimate steady hand. Even at 46, even if there's a decline. I mean, this guy still threw for 4,600 yards last year. This guy completed 66% of his passes. Like, even if there's a small drop off, he goes to completing 62% of his passes. He only throws for 3,500 yards. You know, this guy threw for 25 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. Washington would love somebody like this. You know, as many fans that have been pining over someone like Jimmy Garoppolo, or how many people want Derek Carr? Right now, I know some of that is. Maybe that's a long-term answer. Tom Brady is not a long-term answer. I can understand maybe some arguments for that. But when you're talking about having a QB for this next season, 2023, I don't know that you can do much better than Tom Brady. You know, when you're talking, you want a team that's a defensive identity and wants to run the ball. Tom Brady's that QB. Tom Brady's the one who can potentially take you to the promised land. And I think one of the things that is kind of unique when it comes to Tom Brady is you don't necessarily have to break the bank. You're going to have to pay the man. You're going to have to pay the man quite a bit of money, but he's been known throughout his career as not chasing the bag, but chasing a ring. So he would allow you to potentially, you know, buy those offensive linemen that you need to shore up the line and, you know, get these other championship pieces.
I mean,
I'm pretty excited about that.
You don't think he would want to upgrade from the offense that he had? Now, look, Mike Evans and Curtis Godwin are a pretty good combo, right?
Chris Godwin.
What did I say? Oh, Chris Godwin. Who's Curtis Godwin?
Curtis Samuel. I think you're mixing Curtis Samuel and Chris Godwin.
There's a Curtis Goodwin in base anyway. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. These are pretty good ball players. They don't hold a jock to Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel. I was going to say Chris Samuel. But yeah, So Tom Brady can look at that and he can say, I'm upgrading offensively. They've got a better group of running backs, right? Even though, playoff Lenny is supposed to be that guy, he really isn't. He's not in love with football. We can all probably agree on that. He's got a couple of young, hungry running backs with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. Gibson especially looking for that next contract next year, right? So I think he would look at this situation and say, you know what? That defense, those weapons, that might be a place I might want to go. The only problem I would have with it, the only one, is that the circus that will follow Tom Brady when he comes in would be absolute madness. It would be good for this show. Don't get me wrong. But just in terms of and if they get Hard Knocks, and you got Hard Knocks and Tom Brady.
Bro, that's
Oscar.
That's Emmy worthy right there.
It would be
the sale of the team.
Madness.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot.
Sale of the team.
Definitely a lot of things that are going on in the background that would be interesting with him here. So it sounds like we're all in agreement. Like Tom Brady on the field as QB1 is a win.
Yeah,
it's a win.
And you know what else would be awesome? It's sorry. You know what else? This energy drink has got me going crazy.
You're going good.
Great. I'm not sleeping for sure. He could make a tight end out of nothing to something. And he loves tight ends. Like that Cade Otton guy or whatever in Tampa last season. I never heard of that kid until he started playing with Tom Brady. So
Cole Turner breakout season, Armani Rogers breakout season.
Yeah.
Greats. Like he could utilize all three in a way that we've never seen before because he loves tight ends. I mean, I never knew who Rob Gronkowski was. I didn't know. I mean, Kyle Rudolph went there. He was washed up, but he went there. He was a good tight end at one point. So, like, that would be exciting to see because we haven't had good tight end play since Jordan Reed.
Probably Jordan Reed.
Vernon Davis.
Vernon Davis had some moments. Yeah, he had some moments. It's kind of like Logan Thomas has
like
some
a
moments
true
in some good games. But somebody who, week in, week out, probably Jordan Reed. Now, Stoner, you had those apprehensions of like the circus kind of coming with him.
Circus.
Trev, is there any apprehension? Is there anything that's kind of holding you back from him being QB1 for Washington? Again, forego all this, whether or not he would want to come here.
Literally, just to be realistic, he's going to be 46. And
sure,
we did the stats he put up. He did that quietly because if the naked eye watched the games, you were like, there's no way he threw for almost 5,000 yards.
I think it's because he also had several stinkers, right?
Yeah,
like it was kind of like Carson Wentz had like, these two really great games and then threw for 99 yards. So it's just like, what's going on with Tom Brady here?
And like you saw, he really wasn't mobile enough in the pocket to even escape a sack or try to escape. He threw a lot of balls in the dirt. So it's like, that's the only apprehension I have is his little old age in the game of football. Because that's old as what in the game of football, but not in human life. So that's the only thing that would hold me back is like, can he still play at that high Tom Brady level at 46 that we've saw shades of this past season? But
I think in addition to that, and that's a absolute great point about worrying about that with his age, but also if he does come here, he's coming here for 1, maybe 2 years, and then you're right back where you started, right? Yeah. And you're going to stunt the possible growth of Sam Howell because he's going to sit 1 or 2 years behind him.
I don't think
he's not. Tom Brady's not coming here to back up Sam Howell.
No.
What I'm saying is it going to stunt his growth? Watching Tom Brady operate
better, bro.
But what I'm saying is you're going to have to wait those couple of years for Sam Howell to get out on the field and get that experience. Sure. He comes out here in 2026, right? Sam Howell, and you're still at that. Well, what can he do? Because he hasn't had a chance to go out and prove it, except for one game at the end of 2022. And maybe this could be long wait, and that's not necessarily bad. It's kind of a Jordan Love kind of deal in Green Bay.
I was going to say it could be a Pat Mahomes story too. He waited a year behind Alex Smith, who at the time was a Pro Bowl, really good quarterback.
Sure.
And then boom, he hit the scene. Now Sam could do that with Tom Brady, learn behind the GOAT.
Yeah.
And then boom, hit the scene.
I don't think that
Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, boom, hit the scene.
I don't necessarily think that would be a bad thing, but you will go into the next season after he's gone in the same situation you're kind of in now. Is Sam Howell the guy? What are you going to do at quarterback? And you know what I mean? It's not like if you bring in a young guy in a long-term deal where you know who your quarterback is for the next 4 or 5 years. This one is 1, maybe 2 years, and then you're right back in it.
Yeah, I would almost guarantee that this would be 1 year. I mean, this Tom Brady did, retire briefly, then came back. I would say one thing that I think he was distracted this offseason.
I think that's fair
with
too.
His personal stuff going on. He wouldn't necessarily have that going into, this season for himself. But you're right. Time is undefeated. And, is it going to hit him at 46 or is it going to hit him later? Are we talking, if this is a 1 year thing, can Washington put all the pieces together to go on a championship run? Right. Because that's what Tom Brady's coming here for. He's going, he is gunning for a Super Bowl if he comes to your team. And that's it. You get that one chance with him. I think Tampa Bay has been very, very fortunate to have him for a few seasons now. Washington would get him for 1.
Look how bad Tampa Bay is going to be after he leaves.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They've got that Kyle Trask back there who they drafted in like the.
Hey, that's your guy.
Yeah, but he's not the guy. But he's been sitting for 3 years now, or 2 years, I think it is. He's been sitting for 2 years, and now if Brady leaves, they're going to be like, Kyle Trask, is he the guy? They're on that same quarterback carousel that a lot of teams are on.
But you know what they can say in the past 2 seasons while going into that struggle? We got a Super Bowl.
That's right. We got a chip, and we take that. Just like we did with the Nationals. When they won and now they're struggling, well, we got that ring, so we can always look back on that. But, yeah, I'd absolutely – would you do it if he brought you a ring and then you guaranteed for the next 10 years you were going to be terrible again, back to the same thing that we've had for the past 10 years? Would you do it?
I would certainly take a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yes.
And I would argue that it would be probably difficult to be that bad for a decade. Difference between Washington and Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay has a lot of the older players. They're not a young team. Washington has a lot of young pieces. So getting a 1 year rental with Tom Brady and he departs, I mean, we're back to finding that next QB. And I could understand, again, fans not wanting that, right? Like they're not wanting to keep kicking the QB one discussion down the road. But if you got a chance to go for Tom Brady and you can put the pieces together to make a championship run, I just think that you got to do it.
I think you got to do it too. And who knows, maybe if he comes here, wins a Super Bowl, run it back. What if he wants to keep playing? How would you feel about that? That might be a conversation for Wednesday, but he comes QB1, we're Super Bowl champions. He wants to come back again. You okay with that?
I mean, 100 billion%, because he just brought you a Super Bowl. Why wouldn't you give him? I'd give him until he's in his 60s if he wants to keep trying.
As long as he's performing well and the cost effective.
And I think that
if he wants to run it back, Trev, it means that he thinks that this team could go back to back. Right? That's why he stayed in Tampa. Was he's just like, hey, we can run this back and get this, and then they floundered, and then now. Even worse off. But if he wants to come back for a second year, you bring him back. You just can't deny the GOAT that way.
You can't.
So where do you guys have him on your list of top 10? Because we haven't seen each other's. Well, Nathan has seen our list.
I've seen them all. I know
I haven't seen Trevor's list, and he hasn't seen my list or whatever. I'm really, really curious about where you guys have him on your top 10 of available / possibly available QBs. You've got him number 1, Trev?
Yeah.
All those that are possibly available, you've got him number 1.
Yeah, dog.
Nathan's got him number 2. I've got him number 2 as well.
Yeah. This is Sam Howell is number 3 for me. This is one of 2 QBs that I absolutely bring in to replace Sam Howell. Like this, you just, again, you can see the stats, what kind of pedigree he brings. That if you're bringing in Tom Brady, you are a Super Bowl contender. He's not. He's not going to a team that's not a Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you can argue in the comment section or join us on one of our Wednesday shows because we'll discuss that on a Wednesday show live 7:30 on YouTube. But he comes to win.
Yeah.
And that's why he's number 2 on my list. There's only one quarterback I'd take over.
I'm interested to find out who that is. I'm surprised he's number 1 on your list, though, Trev. That
he's the GOAT.
GOAT. Yeah,
I know. I get it. But I think there are better options out there. Well, I think there's one better option out there. But
I'm interested to hear what they have to say, what our viewers have to say. Let us know in the comment section. Where does Tom Brady rank for you? Would you want Tom Brady, even if it's just a 1-year rental? Check it out in the comments. Let us know what you think as far as Tom Brady QB1 for the Washington Commanders starting in 2023. And then catch our live shows on Wednesday. And we'll be producing another one of these Press Your Lucks here very shortly. So you can check that out later this week as well. And until next time,
don't sleep.
Hey,
be a fan. Hey, thanks for watching us here on Ref the District. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out one of these other videos here as well. We create lots of great content. Of course, we're live every Wednesday at 7:30. Things get pretty heated there as well. Until next time, be a fan.